Year 2024, a year of general elections, over 65 countries electing their president or prime minister, and 50% of the world population is voting in this year. We already have had elections in the countries like Pakistan, the neighbor, where the jailed former Prime Minister Imran Khan had a leading edge. And we already had the Russian president elections, where 85% of the voting was wrapped by Vladimir Putin, the current president. And we have yet more big elections coming on the way in our own country, and also elections in US between Biden and Trump. And we also have elections in European Union, Britain, Brazil, Korea, Australia, and several other. Voting for someone who would lead the nation and protect the nation. And all these elections cannot forget or overlook the wars that had been in execution and wars now today. We had been seeing the war between Russia and Ukraine, and also Israel and Hamas, and now the current war in this month of April between Iran and Israel. And all the nations are taking one side or the other, and the whole world split into two day by day. What these leaders elected would take the actions over the peace apart from the diplomatic concerns. In our own country, we do have communal concerns in the wake of elections. Manipur incidents, and we have heard where the churches are targeted, and also the church personnel being pushed to defend themselves. Again, religion playing pivotal role for their survival in the combat. If a leader is representing the country, shepherd in our own religious term, represent the community, leading, guarding the fourth Easter Sunday, which is considered as the Good Shepherd Sunday, as it was proposed and promulgated by John Paul II. In the world today, the shepherd can translate himself to be advocating for justice, equality, and fight and stand for human rights against oppression and religious discrimination and injustice found in any corner of the community or the region one belongs to or leads. Leaves the home and spends the lion's share of his life with the flock. He takes care of them, he feeds them and takes them to the places for the need of the flock, and he raises them and he loves them, and he puts on the weak on his shoulder, and he balms the suffering, and he also becomes the gate or the protector from all evil and danger from the external forces, and he also deals and calms when they fight among themselves, and he is always alert, vigilant, and he becomes everything for the flock. And this is being briefed in the gospel today, how Jesus owns and feels for the community or for the flock and for us all. And we refer the same to the shepherds and the religious authorities today, as they are invited to guard the flock from the nuances of the world today and the new threats emerging in different forms and with different titles, and the challenges of the economy and various discriminations and misconceptions in the making of the mission. The shepherds are also conscientized that the mission is not limited to preaching, teaching, or medical care or social service alone, but to find the new frontiers as the new millennium is opening up new doors and windows. May this exploring nurture the church in its vastness. At the same time, realize it is not the mind of the leaders, but the mind of Jesus is to be the mission of the church. God has a demand from every shepherd, just as he speaks through the prophet. I'm tired of you, my shepherds. I'm going to take away my own sheep and shepherd them myself, because you have neglected them, and you do not care them, and you do not love them. And I will send a shepherd, and he will guard himself. It is a caution to every shepherd to weigh one's own performances and dedication towards this great call of shepherding the flock that is entrusted. We have three ways of looking at the shepherd and the flock. In the process of taking care of the flock, shepherd at times walks ahead, sometimes he is amidst the flock, and sometimes he is behind the flock. May these three movements of the shepherd help us understand how effective one can be the protector, guide, and the bearer of the flock. While walking ahead, he becomes the model by his virtue of his personality and all that he displays with his manner of living. When he walks amidst the flock, almost closer to the synodal image where the leaders of the church are part and parcel, rubbing their shoulders and knowing the smell, pain, and the struggles in carrying the faith. And while walking behind, he puts on the dust on himself that is raised by the flock, meaning that he would be humble enough to accept the weaknesses, the struggles of the community or the flock, and he would own and he would embrace all good and bad of the community that he is working or living for. Let's take home the message on this Good Shepherd Sunday and remember and pray for the shepherds, religious authorities, that they may seek for the wisdom and moral clarity in navigating the complexities of the contemporary issues, making decisions on the basis of compassion, integrity, and ethical values. May the Lord shepherd us all, and may we be in the flock of God. God bless us all.
The Lord's my shepherd, I'll not want. He makes me lie in pastures green. He leads me by the still waters. His goodness restores my soul. And I will trust in you alone. And I will trust in you alone. For your endless mercy follows me. Your goodness will lead me home.